Jump scare. Hello, people. Hello, lovely people. What is up? Welcome to Wednesday stream. It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday, my dudes. I really hope you guys got that reference. But hi! Welcome to Wednesday stream. Today we are doing the same thing we did last stream, which is drawing more of my old OCs for a future video. Yippee! Yippee! Creature noises for you guys. Let's go. But yeah, so welcome to Art Stream. In case you guys don't know, or you weren't here last time, I am I'm working on a future video where I draw my old original characters. Well, some are old, but some of them I'm still using. And I talk about them. And so I have to, you know, get speed paint footage for like 20 different characters. So we're gonna do that today. Today we will be drawing some characters from my original, well, not original, but my old webbed comic Psy that has been long canceled. But yeah, I'm anticipating we can finish at least these two today because my old Psy characters were just wearing normal ass clothes with not a lot of detail. So I'm probably gonna be able to bust through these, and then maybe when we're done, we can draw a third little guy. I do have an Emery sketch already, but Emery's will not be until part 2. So I need to focus on the characters who are gonna be in part 1 first. This is gonna be a 2-part video, by the way. Cue Sly Fox in chat being very smug. Cue Sly in chat being very smug. See, there she is, smug. But yeah, so we are going to ink some little guys and color some little guys. Is Vector working today? He hasn't crashed yet, as far as I know. So I think he should be working. Oh, also, before we get too deep into it, for all of you guys who were here early, you may notice that there is a pinned comment at the top of chat. You guys looked at that yet? Because that is also... My mic sounds staticky? Uh-oh. Let me try something. I did tweak my mic settings a little bit. Where are my filters?
I live. Maybe.
How about... Whoa, too loud. How about now? How about now? Is that better? Is that better? That might have been a little bit loud for a hot sec, sorry. How does this sound? Is better? I just turned off my gain. The weird drumming static sound is gone. Okay, cool. I don't know what that was, but yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm looking at something that's related to the pinned comment. So if you have not looked at the link in the pinned comment at the top of chat, for a future video, it will not be my next video or the one after that, but probably my December video. I will be doing another randomized character challenge, except delete the word randomized from it. If you guys remember my video where it was like my character writing video where I randomly generated 3 D&D characters and then I talked about the process of developing them and I drew them and all that, I'm doing that again, but with a twist. Instead of making it randomized, I am taking it to the polls. So we're doing some audience participation with this one. The link at the top of chat is a Google form where you guys can help vote on what character options you want to see for that future video. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the first place winners from each category, and I'm gonna make them into a character. And then I'm gonna take all the second place winners for each category and put them into a second character. And then I'm gonna take all the third place categories and put those into a third character. And then I will also, I'm taking suggestions in the form for random character traits, like hair color, eye color, outfit details, etc. You guys can submit one each, and I will be using a random number generator to pick like 1 or 2 random traits for each character to also incorporate into their designs or personality. So yeah. If you guys have not filled out that form yet, you've got time, but I mean, you're just sitting here listening to me ramble. You might as well do it now. So, you know, link at the top of the pinned comment. Oh yeah, and also, we've already hit our needed numbers for the minimum, but tomorrow, or technically today, because it ends tomorrow morning at like 9 a.m. Today's your last chance to pre-order a vector. You will have another opportunity in December once we have our actual proper makeship campaign. But if you got $2 and you know you'll have $30 in December, you can get yourself a vector. You can reserve one. Be one of the first ones on the list to get a vector. But yes, now that I've spieled about that, who is DMing me? Okay, dang it. So that's 2 people now who are trying to spam my form. Because freaking Sarah, is asking me how she can submit big bar of titties as her random thing as many times as possible to skew the results. And I'm like, Sarah, no, you can't do that. And now Zoe's DMing being like, it's not letting me put in the same things over and over again to cheat the system. Cause I didn't want people to cheat the system. You guys read the instructions, guys. You get 1 response and you don't get to edit it. That's it. So choose wisely. M87, thank you for the super chat. Not much star writing out Hurricane Francine in New Orleans. Oh yeah, I heard there was a hurricane. Good luck. Hope that everything goes well. But yes, okay, now that my spiel is over, it is time to draw some old OCs. I don't know what Zoe was trying to submit, but Sarah says that she wants to submit big bar of titties. She's gonna make a bunch of different emails to submit big bar of titties as many times as possible. There she is! There's the perpetrator! Get her ass! How can I guarantee little wizard boys if I can't cheat the system? Sorry, Zoe, I already made you a little wizard boy. His name is Sage, and he is in my webbed comic. You can look at him as much as you want. Cheaters. Though, cheaters trying to cheat the system. What did Zoe do? She's trying to cheat the system. She's trying to weigh down the polls. She's trying to sandbag the poll. She's threatening democracy. Famous YouTuber Zoe B threatens democracy. That's what she's doing. Okay, here, you know what? Next time I do one of these, I will allow for as many submissions as possible, and I will let you guys sandbag the polls. Like those idol surveys. For those people who buy, like, 50 copies of the same CD trying to get concert tickets from the lottery system. Next time it will be a free-for-all, no democracy. But for this time, we are engaging in democracy. Okay, here. We'll do a democratic version, and if this video performs better than the first one, I will let you guys have anarchy for the 3rd attempt on this video, okay? Okay. I will allow for anarchy, but only if democracy video performs well. Anyway, go submit your stuff. It's cast thine vote. The top of the chat. Ah, shit, I missed it. Jared! 50? Goodness gracious, Jared Sadewater, thank you for the 50 gifted memberships. My goodness, he is at it again, folks. I feel like Jared just needs to be the free space in Starstream bingo. Because goodness gracious, sir! Sheesh! But yes, thank you, Jared, for the gifted memberships. If you got gifted a membership, make sure to say thank you in the chat. Make sure to say thank you. I heard anarchy. Oh, I see. I see how it is. This is bribery. This is bribery! I'm just trying to draw my little telepathic, nerd boy son. And there's anarchy in my chat. Oh. Let's see if Vector will read it.
New fan just ordered your book, aka a webcomic.
Monty Red Dragon, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the comic. Let's freaking go. Pachoo, pachoo, pachoo. Oh yeah, a little update for those who are not in the loop. Books for Cast Off have been ordered, so now it's just playing the waiting game for like 2 months. I'm hoping they'll arrive mid-November. If nothing crazy happens, the books should be here mid-November, and I am aiming to send them all out by the end of the year, hopefully. So, fingers crossed. Xavier, buddy, I think I drew your eyes too close together. Your eyes feel too close together, my friend. My little guy. Y'all want to talk about little nerds? This is the OG nerd right here. This is the original nerd. From my old webcomic from the Forgotten Times. Telepathic emo boys and sweater vests. That's what it's all about, baby. This character kind of looks like Sage. You're gonna hate the fact that his color is also purple. He also has purple magic. Spoiler alert! Their personalities are very different, though. Very different personalities. This is Xavier is his name. Oh shit, goddammit, he's also a mind reader. Fuck! Oh no! He's like Sage, but he sucks less. That's his character personality. In your video, you're going to talk about what direction you would have taken Psy in if you didn't cancel it. I go over that a little bit. But I might, the original run through of the script that I did, I wasn't planning on making it 2 parts, so I kind of like slimmed it down a little bit. But I might go in and add some more now that I'm thinking about splitting it into 2 videos, which means that I will have more time to ramble. So yeah, since I'm planning on never revisiting Psy, I can probably just like go in and add a bunch of spoilers and shit. Just because I did drop some in there already, just being like, hey, this is what would have eventually happened to this character. And then this is how it ended up translated over into Cast Off. Whoops! Sage is perfect, how dare you? You're biased, he's your son, Zoe. That's bias! Sage's evil brother Paige, oh my god. Can't believe I'm being called out like this. I drank my water wrong! Ugh. Ugh.
This is part of living in New Orleans with potential hurricanes in a hurricane-prone area. The last time I rode out a major hurricane was Ida back in 2021. It was scary.
MDom87, thank you for the other super chat. Yeah, I imagine lots of hurricanes in that part of the world, but, you know, hopefully this one won't hit you too bad. I've got friends in Houston who were saying that they, might get some rain from it. I drank my water wrong and now I'm choking! My water's trying to kill me! If I had a nickel for every time a nerd had the color purple as their main color scheme, mind reading in glasses, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. No, listen, Xavier also has black hair. And their haircuts are pretty similar. Xavier just has, you know, emo bangs. Like, their personalities are really not the same at all. I mean, they're both nerds, but Xavier's like the cool nerd. And Sage is like, what if ADHD and autism cranked to like 11? There he goes. There he goes. I thought you were drawing Sage at first when you started the stream. Oh no! Star can only make 5 characters. It's true. Listen, I did not make Sage with the anticipation of this man is autistic, points at him, but like, I don't think it's a stretch. I don't think it's a stretch to make that assumption. I'm not gonna say that it's like 100% canon because I did not write him with that intent, and I feel like that's unfair claiming of representation on my part. But yeah, kinda, I see it. I see it now that people have pointed it out. I'm like, yeah. He's a little guy. He's my special little guy. I'm autistic and he seems like very good rep star. Well, y'all can have him. Y'all can have him. The ADHD part was definitely planned, and that's because I'm ADHD and he is my son. This is my son. He's a fucking nerd. Do-do-do-do-do. Sage is my neurodivergent son and he is perfect and can do no wrong and is definitely not a criminal. You sure about that last bit? 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 Zoe, you know how the rest of chapter 12 plays out. You've seen my spoilers. Can you really say that in good consciousness? Can you really say that in good consciousness? Definitely not a criminal. All right. All right. You are gonna have to fight for your life with that take. Once the rest of chapter 12 comes out and everybody else sees what he has done. Sage can do a little crime as a treat. Mm-hmm. Don't encourage him. But yeah, it's really funny. Oh, hello, Molly. Hi, kitten cat. What you doing? Hi. You under my desk? Are you an under desk cat? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. What the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, I met up with a friend for the first time in a couple of years recently, cause she's getting ready to move out of state, and we were just like, we want to hang out. You want to come over to my house? And she was like, yeah. And so she came over with her husband, and we were just kind of like, you know, hanging out in my living room and talking. And she's like, oh yeah, what else is new? Oh yeah, turns out I'm autistic and ADHD, and I'm just like, yeah, I just gave her a high five. It's just so funny because like every single member of my high school like friend group is just like somewhere on that spectrum. It's like you're either ADHD or you're autistic or you're both. Pretty much everybody I was friends with in high school, and we were making fun of it. Now it's just like, yeah, I feel like we knew. I feel like we knew, and it was just the vibes, you know? And we found each other. And for this particular friend's case, I found her by kicking her ass at chess on the first day of math class in middle school. Yeah. I personally have never been tested for autism. I don't think I have it. I like you see like a list of the traits of autism, and I'm like, maybe, no, debatable, no, not really. ADHD, I am basically like the fucking poster child. I've gotten everything but a peer review. Which is what my friend called it. She's like, yeah, it's like, I kind of knew, but now I got my peer review about it, and I'm like, yeah. So yeah. Me getting an ADHD diagnosis would be like walking into a doctor's office and being like, I think my hair's brown, and he'd just look at me. He'd just look at me and be like, yeah. So, you know. You got the official diagnosis a few years ago. Yeah, I've never gotten like an official diagnosis because like at this point, my thing is like I've considered trying to get like medication for it just to help me focus a little better. But at the same time, I've been doing this job for so long unmedicated. I've kind of just like learned how to manage it pretty well. And so it's like I don't know if I would need it. But is that like denial? I don't know. My thing is like I've learned to live with it. And so kind of it's at this point it's just like, do I want to go to a doctor to have them tell me something I already know and then go home? You know? Just like, do I have to pay a copay for that? I'm gonna have to like see a specialist about it. How much of a pain in the ass is this gonna be, and is it gonna be worth it? That's kind of what I'm juggling right now. Do you have any words of wisdom for someone wanting to start a webcomic? Me. Watch my videos about it, and if that's not enough, I also have a book about it. Hashtag shilling. But yeah, I can't offer anything specific because that is such a broad question, but I do have videos on this topic, so if you have watched those and you have read my book, then you know all my tips. So, that is what I will say for that. Better yet, do you want to go and end up with meds that screw you up what you've already got going? Yeah, I know I've heard that for like ADHD specifically, there's a couple different types of medication. There's one that you take every day. I'm like, I don't know if I want to mess with that. But I also know there's a kind that you can take just like when you need it. And so if I pursued that, that would probably be the kind that I get because it's just like, you know, day to day, I'm fine. On a day-to-day basis, I am perfectly okay. I get my shit done, I do my stuff, and everything's great. But, you know, I do have my bad days sometimes when I just need to sit and do a lot of shit real quickly, and it's just not happening. And then I end up starting 12 tasks, and then nothing gets done, and it's a fucking nightmare. So it's like, it might be nice, but it's just like, if I only need it like once a month or something, is that even worth it? I have to make stupid noises. That's where I've settled at. That is about where I've settled. If it ever gets worse, then the option is there, but it's not something I am actively pursuing. Big shrug emoji. That is where I personally have settled. Look at this emo man, emo boy. Making a comic about high schoolers when I was in college. Fun story. So Psy was my first webcomic that lasted longer than 6 pages. I have other attempts. They only made it about 6 pages, so I don't really talk about them. But I started Psy because I had these story ideas in my head, and the day after my high school graduation, I was bored. I was real bored, and I was just like, I'm gonna do a comic, and then I did it. And then I finished the entire first chapter over that summer. That sounds impressive. It was only like 16 pages. And for the first couple of years I did it, I didn't have an update schedule. I just kind of posted pages when I had time. But you know what? I learned a lot and I had fun. And I'm going to talk about it more when this video comes out, which will be sometime in the first half of October, because it's going to be my October video and the sponsor wants it in the first half of the month. So, yeah. Boredom, the ultimate motivator. Yup. Is this comic still online? It is. I'm not going to tell you where to find it because if I'm being honest, I would prefer people not read it. It's not great, gang, and there's a lot of weird stuff where I look back and I'm just like, why did I do that? It's not real good, gang. It's not very good. And so, oh my god, I just looked at the poll. There's 200 responses already. Goodness gracious. And 30% of y'all are furries. I fucking see you swaying my polls. Animal hybrid is winning the ancestry category at like 30%. Bunch of furries in my polls! Bunch of freaking furries in my poll! I made the animal hybrid option to kind of cover, you know, like all the half animal races in D&D, like tabaxi, shifters, not tabaxi. Oh, I already said tabaxi. But like, what's the Triton? Triton is the fish guys. To just kind of encompass all of those. Dragonborn. And it looks like one of those is gonna win. I don't know if Vector read this.
Can you do video going over the start of Psy?
There he is. Blue the Diglett, thank you for joining the membership. That's kind of what this video is gonna do. I'm gonna talk about the comic and like the world building details and all the characters in it. So yes, that will be in this video that I am working on right now. Let me look at the rest of this poll. Class so far. Yeah, I called that one. I called which one was gonna win the class. Ah, Avery Vance, thank you for the coffee donation. I appreciate it. I'm gonna eat that. No, no. It's descending into my airspace. No. Thank you. I appreciate it. Background, yeah, tragic backstory background specifically is not surprising at all. Yeah, none of these are surprising to me so far, honestly. Lots of very fun, random character trait responses. Let's go. I'm just gonna keep poking that just to see, because it's fun. You don't eat coffee. What do you mean it's coffee? I consume coffee through espresso beans. Like chocolate covered espresso beans most of the time. That's like my caffeine when I take long road trips, is I buy a big old bag of chocolate covered espresso beans and I just honk them. I just hork them. And then I have too much caffeine, and I have a really low tolerance for it because I have caffeine so infrequently. And then when I'm done with the road trip, I get out of my car and my legs are so shaky that I can't stand up straight. Thumbs up emoji. And then I don't sleep for like 3 days. But at least I didn't fall asleep behind the wheel, right? Whee! I used to have to drive the 2-day drive between Texas and Georgia like every 3 months or so for school, because I went to school in Georgia and I lived in Central Texas, and so I used to have to drive back and forth between them. And I would, you know, I sometimes had company with me, but a lot of times I did that drive by myself. And That was just a lot of me trying desperately not to go stir crazy in my little Honda. Beep, beep. The last time I had a gratuitous amount of caffeine was when I accidentally ordered a coffee that was too large when I went to visit friends in Canada back in spring. Because I was used to Starbucks sizes, and Dunkin' sizes are way bigger than Starbucks sizes, for the record. And I wasn't expecting it. And so I tried to get a small, and the small was like double the size of a Starbucks small, and I was like, oh sweet Jesus. And I chugged it right before getting on the plane. And I almost had a panic attack on the airplane. Because I had too much caffeine in me. I was on an airplane and I was watching a horror movie, which is a great combination, for the record. Why would you do that? Because I wanted a sippy. I wanted a sippy beverage before I got on the plane. And also I had to wake up at like 4 a.m. to get in the car and drive to Dallas to catch that flight, and I was tired, and I wanted to make sure that I could stay awake. Then get water. I just explained why I needed a pick-me-up, and that was not a pick-me-up. That was a aggressive yeeting of me. Oh gosh, if you guys want to hear more of this story, go watch my Canada video, because I tell this whole story in that video. I'm not going to recount it here. You guys want to hear that story, you can just go watch that video. Maybe one of my mods will be kind enough to link it in the chat for y'all. This is the part where I get to see if my mods are paying attention to me. I'm not going to do it. I'm busy. I'm drawing. Which video I'm eating? It's the Canada video from earlier this year.
Well, it's only a cat warning, but it'll be fine.
And Dom87, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, hopefully everything works out okay. Ugh. This bitch is even wearing a sweater. I can't believe this shit. I can't believe this shit. Do you guys want to see what this character actually looks like in the comic? I can go grab some off my old DeviantArt page. I had to go look at reference because I forgot which way his bangs were swooped. Oh gosh golly. Let me find a good page where you can see him well. Where is this man? Show him to me. Okay, yeah, here's a good one. Here, this is one of... Okay, so prefacing this is one of the last pages that got updated of this comic. This was like in the final few months of this comic going. This was right before I shelved it. This is what the freaking art looks like. And there's Xavier. His emo ass. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that uncentered dialogue bubble. Look at that Calibri ass lettering. Look at this fucking perspective. Look at this guy in his fucking sweater vest. Oh my god. This, what year was this? This has got to be like 2013 or something. Yep, 2013. It doesn't say April 4. Oh my gosh, this was almost exactly 2 years before the start of Cast Off. Almost to the day. This page was 2 years before Cast Off started. Wowie zowie. Look at these kids! This was my trio! This was my original trio of cutie pies. So that's May and Lucas and Xavier. That was the original trio from my first comic. Look at them. Look at, they're so crunchy. This is a really low quality upload. Look at those crunchy pixels. Hey, don't insult your old art. Isn't that what you tell us not to do? I'm teasing my old self. It's not an insult. It's teasing gently with love and affection. My goodness. I thought I was so funny. This lettering is fun, though. I like putting big sound effects behind characters so that you can still see the action, but you get the point of just like, oh my fucking god. Oh, man. Lucas, May, and Xavier walked so Vector, Ariana, and Frankie could run a marathon. I mean, honestly, yeah. So I talk about this in the video. But May has a lot of aspects of her that eventually transferred over into Marina. Not a whole lot, but there's like a couple of little factors that mostly have to do with kind of her, like, she's a little shy, but not super shy, not, just kind of like sweeties with plant-related, like, healing powers, sort of. It's very vague, but you can draw the connections there. And then Lucas is very much like cute little guy, best friend, wants to make his friends happy, and but also obnoxious. So he's got like 10% Ariana, and then the rest is Frankie vibes. Why are people saying grain? Why are people talking about wheat in my chat? I don't get it. I don't know what Minecraft is. Please stop making Minecraft references in my comic, or in my live streams. I don't know what Minecraft is. Anyway, yeah, and then Xavier really is just Sage, baby Sage, but emo, isn't he? Isn't he? God damn it, I didn't even think about that till y'all brought it up. Shit! Alright, well, I'm going back to my drawing now. Damn it! How do you improve so fast? That was 10 years ago, friend. This art is from literally over 10 years ago. I would not define that as fast. But, I mean, the art school had a bit to do with it. I started Psy. I was working on Psy through art school, but honestly, the weird thing is I didn't really start noticeably improving and, like, taking stuff from art school seriously until after I had graduated already. Part of it is just, like, practice, I'm sure, but... the lessons come with repetition and practice and all that. But I mean, like, that's one of the reasons I'm glad that this old comic existed, right? Because everybody say thank you. Everybody put your hands together and say thank you to this old comic, because this old comic taught me so much shit about comics and writing and character development and so much stuff I would have never figured out if I hadn't done this first comic. Or at least I would have figured out, but it would have made, like, Cast-Off would be so much worse if Psy did not exist. So if you guys think that Cast-Off is good, thanks, Psy, because I got all the bad parts out of my system when I was working on the first comic, aka this one. Psy walked so Cast-Off could run, quite literally. Well, not running literally, but you know what I mean. I still don't think that Cast Off is perfect, but I am pretty proud of it. So it's like, if I had to start Cast Off over from scratch, there's a couple different things I would do differently. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, no artist is ever gonna be 100% satisfied with their work, but I'm pretty happy with Cast Off. I think Cast Off is a lot of fun, and I've been having a lot of fun making it, so that's what counts. That's what counts. And it seems like a lot of other folks like it too, so that's also nice. Thank you guys for supporting my webbed comic. Cast Off Netflix adaptation. Listen, movie executives, get in my inbox. I'm not opposed to the idea, but it's got to be an animated series, and I've got to have creative control over it, and I would love for it to be a musical. I would like that very much. That would be fun for me. Where's your old webcomic? I wish to read it and cringe. No. I will not be telling you where it lives. Because, like I said earlier, I kind of don't want you guys to read it. It's not like the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely like baby's first comic, and I didn't really know what I was doing. So, could have been worse, could have also been way better. Alrighty. So I'm just gonna kind of fly by the seat of my pants with these colors here. Just like guesstimate kind of approximately. Kind of like a dusty gray purpley. I can't even tell what you guys are talking about anymore. I look up at chat and I'm like, none of the messages in here make any sense to me. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Glad you're having fun though. Welcome to my stream. Welcome to my stream where we talk about real shit, like sweater vests. And paying your taxes. Which we have not talked about today, but if I had a nickel for every time I have broken into a random conversation about how to do your taxes, y'all would have at least 2 nickels. I know I've done that at least twice. Sir, you are looking a little bit jaundiced. But that's okay, we can fix it. We can fix him, chat. Emo boy! Emo boy alert! This is an emo theater kid! He's got long hair and bangs and problems! Tax filing stream? See, I would do that if I didn't make my accountant do it for me. I pay professionals to do my taxes for me because when you're self-employed, filing your taxes is a real big pain in the ass, and I do not want to get audited, so I pay people to do it for me. That's adulthood, baby. That's adulthood. Paying other people to do my taxes for me. Da-da-da-do. So that I don't have to mess around with all of the complicated forms and math. Hey! Look at my boy. Look at him. Look at my special boy. Wowie. Checking something, sorry. Wow. Okay. Do I like that skin color? Let me start with this. Whoa! That's not what I meant to do. No, let me hit the correct button, please. Okay, there. Just looking a little dusty, friend, and it's probably just because you're all up in this desaturated purple, but I bet I can make you a little brighter. I've noticed that I tend to lean very heavily onto like more desaturated colors for like my flat colors. And I'm kind of just like, I want to brighten my shit up a bit, you know? I like emo Sage here. He looks so, this isn't emo Sage, it's an entirely different character! Who I didn't realize bore such a resemblance until people pointed it out in chat, but no, they literally do look basically the same. Maybe I make his sweater a little less purple. Maybe I give him like a slightly bluer sweater, because like it's kind of like, yeah, it's like a really dark gray here. So maybe I could just make it a little darker and it's a little bit less sage-ish. His name is Xavier with an X because he's an emo kid. Emo boy. What's up, emo kid? How you doing? It's not even I wish it was just a physical resemblance. It's not. They are both telepathic, like canonically. Jesus Christ. Like Sage's is different, but Xavier is just like, his whole thing is he can literally like read people's minds and do more shit with it. Xavier's honestly like, what if Sage was less of a nerd and more Xavier is who Sage wishes he was if he had more charisma. So, but no, they are very different characters, so. Let me just check something really quick. Checking something. All right. But yeah, so Psy was technically not my very first attempt at a webcomic. My very first attempt, I actually will be talking about in the video as well. And I'll have to draw those characters in another stream. But But that one was that one, first of all, only made it about 6 pages. And it was a sci-fi fantasy chosen one narrative. It was a lot, gang. It was one that I came up with and was working on, quote unquote, at the late middle school, early high school era. Peak weeb phase. And it was called Aurora Nova. And it was about these two planets, and each planet was like a different fantasy aesthetic. And one was the evil planet. I don't remember the name of it, but it was in peak naming things by just looking at my Japanese to English translation dictionary for relevant words. And coming up with something. So I remember the first part of it was like Yamikuro or something, which is like the Japanese word for darkness and the color black. And it was just, whew! I don't remember if that's exactly what it was. And this was before I had any kind of internet presence, so I can't like hunt these notes down. But the other planet was called Nova. The good guy planet was called Nova. And so the whole plot was there was like a chosen one, and there was a prophecy that the chosen one would come from another planet and they would be the ones to the chosen one would be the one to turn the tides of war and lead Nova into victory. And so early on, one of the main characters who's like the leader of the Nova Rebellion, and he's like 15 because of course he is. His name was Haru, by the way, and he will be in this video. And I will talk about him, and you guys will learn all about how cool he is. And so, like, he snuck into the evil planet's, like, satellite war base thing, and he used their teleporter to try and summon the Chosen One, but on accident, oopsie doodles, he didn't summon the Chosen One, he summoned 2 randos, and those were our main characters. Who all 3 of these characters will be mentioned in the eventual video. And I'm going to talk about that story a lot as well, so look forward to that. Talk about a lot in quotes because I don't remember too much about it aside from what I just said. It was a story though! And if you dig far back enough on my DeviantArt, you can find those like first 6 pages of it that I did. One was a title page, where I posted it, and then I had no script, so I was flying by the seat of my pants the whole time, and it was real bad. Sounds like a very in-depth fever dream. This was the object of my story-based OC hyperfixation for like 4 years. Maybe not that long. Maybe it was like 2 or 3, but these characters were in my head for a while. And so the whole thing was just like, they're not actually the chosen ones, but we can't send them back to their home planet, so I guess we're gonna train them.
Use this to get yourself a Starbucks on me. Good luck.
The real guy with the green hat, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I will not use it at Starbucks because Starbucks is being real shitty right now, but I will use it on a sweet treat at some point in the future, so thank you. I appreciate. But yeah, that story was a lot of fun. You know, we all have those like very first like big comic ideas. That it's usually like an epic fantasy or an epic sci-fi, and there's some sort of like big star-crossed romance in it. Because that was there in this one. Oh, I should mention Aurora Nova, the comic I just summarized. That's where Arson was from. The character I've told you guys in the past, who wasn't even an arsonist, had nothing to do with fire. He was just a random guy, and I thought the word arson as a name was cool. That's the comic he was from. He was one of the main character's boyfriend, and his whole thing was he just looked shockingly similar to the main bad guy once he eventually got revealed. And then they have to kill the main bad guy in the final battle, and one of the main characters, the one who is his girlfriend, is very, very upset about it. And then they finally get to go back to their home planet, and Arson's just there, and he's like, hi. And they're like, what the fuck, you died? And he's like, no, I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about, because like, yeah, they looked identical, but they were not the same person at all. There was no relation. Oh my god. So, yeah. Again, I was like 14, like 13, 14. Be nice. But yeah, little baby Star had some ideas about things and stuff. Sounds like an excellent comedy comic idea for later. That's the thing though, it wasn't a comedy. It was a very serious, like sci-fi fantasy story. Serious in quotes. It was the most serious a 13-year-old could, you know, write. It had themes like beating the bad guys. And there was one bit of that comic I was actually proud of, and that was like kind of the moral of the whole story. The twist at the end is that even though the characters are not like the actual chosen one, they're still at the like climax of the story able to utilize the power of the chosen ones and get their like what is it? Like their magical girl transformations into the magical space fantasy chosen ones. And the whole moral of the story was it was gonna be like anyone can save the world as long as they dedicate themselves to the task was kind of the moral I was running with. I did think that bit was cool. Everything else sucked though. Oh boy. It was a whole thing. But I had fun with it. I had fun letting it be the subject of my brainworms for a couple of years, but not something I have any desire to go back to, you know? I am much more interested in new shit now. Like Cast Off and the new random... So I went on, not even a tangent, but I was just like thinking out loud to myself on social media a couple weeks ago about how it's like, I really like coming up with characters. I really love character writing. I really love writing stories. I love coming up with stories. I do not enjoy world building very much. I would consider that if like those 3 points are on a triangle, characters, plot, and world, and you get to pick 2, characters and plot are the things that I picked, and then my world building is just like, yeah, it serves the narrative. And so after I wrote that on bluesky.com, I was thinking, it's like, if I ever wanted to put my beloved Dungeons and Dragons blorbos into a webcomic of some kind, I would not want to use established D&D lore at all, but how can I craft a world that has all of these, like, D&D-esque ideas, specifically, like, fantasy characters such as demons and such, or, like, tieflings, and elves and dwarves and all this nonsense. How could I do such a thing? I would want to make like a new fantasy realm with new lore and new stuff attached to it without it being attached to D&D at all, but I also want to still be able to put tieflings in it and call them something different probably. Definitely, so that Wizards of the Coast don't come for my ass. And so I started thinking about it, but now I've actually come up with some cool ideas. And I'm like, well, you know, I was thinking about doing that, that vampire lesbian romance rom-com comic after Cast Off was done, or at some point in the near future. But now I've kind of got this idea for just like this really cool setting that I kind of want to play around with, and I think it's really cool. But yeah, so the idea I kind of have, original ideas do not steal. The whole point of this world building, because I'm world building with ulterior motives, right? The entire point of the world building is I want to be able to go ham and put whatever the hell kind of character, like fantasy character, in this comic and have nobody question it. I want to... I want to be able to kind of do the Genshin Impact thing where there's just like elves and cat girls and demons and dragon people and just like whatever the fuck fantasy race I want and put them all into the same setting and have nobody question it. Nobody question it. And so all of my world building up until this point has very much come from how do I do that without it being stupid, and how cool can I make it in the process? And this is very loose, but kind of the idea that I have right now is that nobody write this down because this is subject to change. And also, it's my idea. But I'm not that protective. I just think that this concept is really cool, and if anybody plays with it, I want to be the one to play with it. The idea is basically like, at the dawn of this world that the story would take place in, like there was this huge war between all the gods, and I know that's corny, but this would not be a prologue or anything. This is just world building. We're just having fun. We're playing Calvin Ball. Basically there's like all these different gods and deities and stuff, and at some point they all gotta fight. What are they fighting about? I don't know. I haven't thought that far yet. I haven't figured that out. But basically, like all the gods and elf fought, and at the end, nobody wins. And instead, all of the gods are slain, and basically their physical bodies get shattered, and all of the shards like fall to quote unquote Earth, and then from those shards, people are born. And so then, you know, like thousands and thousands of years later, the descendants of those original like pieces of the gods are like populating this world. And so there's like, this is not going to be the final names, but there's like demon shards, which is like your tieflings. There's like solar shards, which would be like angels. There's wildling shards, which would be like half animal people. And of course, because, you know, it's been thousands of years since the original war that like shattered all the gods, you can have like, you can mix and match them. You can be like, oh yeah, I'm like 1/6 demon shard. I'm like an 8th. This is like, that's why I've got cat ears and horns, you know, it's like a whole thing. I just want to go ham and do whatever I want and have nobody question it. Why does that remind me of a certain webcomic I know? Yeah, it kind of is the conceit of Cast Off, but taken to its ultimate cosmic form, right? I think I'm just obsessed with broken things. And that's like a weirdly philosophical sentence, but I like the concept of breaking things and then seeing how it puts itself back together. And then making knockoff tieflings about it. If you compacted all the tieflings, would they turn back into a god? No, because, you know, like, there's a bunch of other, like, types of people mixed in there. But I just think it would be so cool for, like, there to be, because, you know, we talk in fantasy stories, there's always like the human resilience, but like not everybody is human. And so it's weird that they call that humans kind of like the overlapping term in a lot of fantasy stories. Like I've even read comics and stuff where like people comment on that. And so I think instead what I would like to do is shards, because everyone kind of came from like these broken pieces of the gods. There is like an actual separate name for like just all sentient beings. And so like that would be shards, essentially. I might change it, because now that I'm saying it out loud, I realize that there's some unfortunate potentiality with mispronunciations in there, but I don't know, I thought it was cool when I was just, you know, daydreaming about it while doing chores around the house. But yeah. I just think it would be, I have like this mental image of just like a speaker going up on a stage and being like, hello to my, like, greetings to my fellow shards. And just like, that is the catch-all term for just like every type of fantasy creature, person, etc. Shardlings. That would take away, kind of, the problem is that the word shard, if you're not careful, sounds like shart. And I don't... And I feel like shardlings still has that problem. Because then it's just shartlings. Little sharts. I will keep that in mind, though. That is kind of fun. That is kind of... How do you do, fellow sharts? Yeah, exactly. Could become symbolism. Gods were perfect and their mortal ancestors are broken and must worship them to atone. No, see, like, they don't worship the gods because they're all fucking dead. And so when I told Jay this, he was just like, oh, make it so that something is killing the gods. And there could also be, like... people are trying to ascend. Part of it is kind of coming from, I've been watching a lot of videos about Fear and Hunger, which if you're under 18, don't look that game up. It's very inappropriate, and there's a lot of really dark shit in it. But it's a game I will never play, because I am not interested in a game that is designed to make you fucking miserable every step of the way as you play it. But I've been watching a lot of videos about the lore, and parts of like the lore and the god system are super duper interesting. Like they have this concept of old gods, which are like actual gods, and then the new gods, which are just like mortals who tried to ascend, and it just like never really works out for a couple different reasons, and it's just like all the new gods just kind of keep replacing each other. It's super duper cool. Dark is a massive understatement. Yeah. Well, you look it up at your own risk. If you want a good, if you want to know what Fear and Hunger is and you don't want to do a whole lot of research and you just want like a video that kind of explains a lot of what the game is and why it's cool, the Super Eye Patch Wolf video about it is how I got introduced to it at first, and then that sent me down the rabbit hole. It's a video called The Cruelest Video Game. It's like 40 minutes long. And I've watched that an embarrassing amount of time. And then if you want more about like the actual story and lore and you don't want to play the game yourself, there's a user named Worm Girl who has done like story breakdowns, that are like, it's kind of like goes into it without spoiling absolutely everything about like the lore and the world building and stuff. I just think it's really interesting, a lot of the stuff the world building in that game goes into. And so while I have no desire to play it for myself, I think it's kind of neat. And I just like the system, because like there's like gods in Cast Off and stuff, but it's not something I was really interested in developing when I was going into Cast Off, because I knew it wasn't ever going to really be a thing that I ever focused on. You've got your one goddess, and that's the only one we're ever really going to learn about, and even then we're not going to learn a lot about her. But, you know, I do think that it is cool, you know, like going into like, in a world with magic, like what part do the gods play and stuff like that, and just like how do you play with your pantheons and stuff. And D&D has definitely kind of like blossomed that interest for me, but at the same time it's like I don't actually care that much about the D&D pantheon, and in fact I made up my own for our home game that we play. Actually love Super Eye Patch Wolf. Yeah, Super Eye Patch Wolf is probably one of my favorite YouTubers right now. Whenever I'm like bored and I don't want to find something to watch on YouTube while I'm just in the background, I keep coming back to his stuff. He's got a lot of cool shit. I love developing only slightly relevant lore. Yep, that's me with Castoff's deities. I say S, I'm sure there's more in the Pantheon. I don't fucking know who they are. They're never gonna come up, so I didn't bother. But like there is a goddess in Castoff and she's slightly into the world building. Is she actually real? I don't fucking know. I don't know. People seem to think that she is, but it's not like you're ever gonna find a cleric who can actually talk to her or something. That's not something that's in the comic. Hey guys, I'm gonna take a real quick bathroom break and I will pop back. But yeah, check out the form at the top of in the pinned comment, because I'm doing audience participation for a future video and I would love to see you guys' opinions and stuff. So go click on that and have some fun filling out that form while I go take an idle break. I'll be right Okay, we back. Bonjour, nerds. Welcome back to Draw Times. Yeehaw. You missed a gifting? What happened? I missed it. What happened? Oh, Habib, thank you for the 5 gifted membership while I was gone. I appreciate it. Hi, Jinx. I'm letting you know that I'm watching you so I don't embarrass you again. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the warning. All right, we are almost done with this emo boy. I can't fucking believe how I cannot even begin to tell you guys that it was completely unintentional that Sage and this character look so similar. They even both have the fucking purple, like, sweaters. God damn it. Complete coincidence. Would not have even thought about it until you guys brought it up, so now I'm gonna have to put that in the video. Just great for me. Love that for me. Can't believe this shit. Star can only make 1 character. God damn it. Star can make 2 characters. Star can make sweeties, Star can make assholes, Star can make purple telepath in a sweater. So frustrating. Listen, it's actually been a joke that I make with myself for a while. That I just like, I have tropes and character personality types that I like. And I just tend to make those over and over again. But I never said it publicly because it sounded too much like a self-dig or like a self-burn, and I didn't want to bring that energy. But dang it! I am bringing that energy. I'm bringing that energy by just existing. I kind of want to peek at the results for the audience participation. Yup, dang, it is over 300 responses at this point. I made this poll and posted it right before the start of stream. It has been roughly an hour and a half since this poll went live. 300 responses. My goodness, and yet the furry option is still winning by like 30%. I see y'all! Okay, let's see. Ooh, that option is that's like actually almost a perfect tie. It is a perfect tie, dang. The animal that is getting chosen is an exact tie somehow. And then for class, Bard is still winning. Yeah, tragic backstory is still winning. And then purple is still the winning choice by a large margin. And then I have like 305 random character traits. that I can pick from with a random number generator, which is what I am planning. But yeah, I don't know. I'm planning on keeping this poll running up until I have to turn it off to actually, you know, take the results for the video and start building the characters. And that's not going to be till like November, probably. So this poll will be open for a while if folks want to get in on that. It's the one that's pinned at the top of the chat. For the record. She did wear cat bell and yacht. No! Don't. Listen, that wasn't because of a furry thing. That was because I really liked Tokyo Mew Mew when I was in my cringe weeb phase, alright? Don't worry about it. Where's the light source in this image? I don't fucking know. I don't know. So wherever you dream that it could be, somewhere out there. Okay, and then we're gonna give him a little bit of blushies to make him look less like a corpse. Gonna give him a little bit of blushies. A bit of blushies. Just a little bit of blushies to make it look like he has blood inside him. Just a little bit. Make this boy look like a human and not a wax imitation of one. Green Holly, thank you for joining the membership. Unfortunately, Vector broke while I was away on break a few minutes ago. I came back and it said, oh, the stream disconnected. And I was like, oh, great, thanks. Chatbot. Deer was an option. What did you think I'd pay? No, listen, there's a couple people I had no doubts, but it's just shocking that, you know, there's been 300 plus something votes. Seeing where the loyalties lie is fun. I totally picked deer too. Yeah, deers are popular. And I would love... I've actually been wanting to design a character with antlers. So, I mean, you know, it'd be fun. I want to design a tiefling with antlers specifically. Because I think that would be a fun take on, like, the horns. Antler tiefling. Gotta have my antlers. Yeah, exactly. Felix, my little pink bard, my little pink tiefling bard, she had antlers originally, and then I eventually just changed it to different horns. I might put her back to antlers at some point, though, because I think it suits her vibe a little better. If the type of animal is still tied, would you do a hybrid of the animals? I'd probably flip a coin, depending on what the, it kind of depends on what the top choices are, right? I'm not even a little bit going to, like, start thinking about characters for at least another month. Because we're still very early on in the polls. It could change drastically. We'll see. All right, but that being said, I think our boy Xavier here is done. Which means it is time to move on to our other boy. Everybody say hi to Lucas. Look at him. This is the best friend type of character. This boy. Whoa, okay. Yeah, so for those of you who were not here at the start of stream, if you're interested, the form linked at the top of the chat is for a future video I'm planning. It will probably be my December video, because my October and November video, I already know what I'm doing for those. It's going to be a two-parter, and that's what we're doing the art for right now. But for my December video, I am doing basically my randomized character building video again. I'm redoing the challenge, but instead of it being randomized with dice rolls, I have opened up a poll for each option. And so you guys get to vote on what type of characters you want to see, and then once the poll is closed in like November, then I will take all of the first place winning options and I will put them into one character. I will take all the second place options and I will put those into a character. And then I will take all the third place options and put those into a character. And so you guys get to help me decide what traits go into these characters, like what's their ancestry, what's their class, what's their background. You guys get to vote on that, and then based on the results, I'm gonna make you guys some characters. I'm gonna make you guys some characters. So, yeah. Hang on, I want to check something really quick. One of my sponsors emailed me right before the stream, and I want to see if she's gotten back to me yet. Boop, 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 boop. Nope, not yet. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, I've got sponsors banging down my door at this point. It's kind of wild. I don't know where they're coming from. But I mean, it's not a problem. It's a good thing. I'm just like, I don't like planning sponsors too far ahead, but at least for right now, I know what I'm going to be doing for my next several videos, just because this one's going to be, this one that I'm working on actively right now, illustrating for, it's going to be a two-parter, because putting it all in one part and having it out at the middle of October was not feasible, but I also didn't want it to be shitty, and so I'm, like, taking my time with it and splitting it up into two. So my October and November videos are decided already, because I'm going to be working on those simultaneously. And then my December video will probably be the one that the polls are for. And I'm gonna, and since it's coming out in December, I'm probably gonna call it something like making my audience characters for Christmas based on their specifications, or something less wordy. Yeah, all these sponsors want me. I've gotten a lot of, like, potential sponsorship emails, and a lot of them have been kind of sus. Oh my gosh, there was one sponsorship offer I got where it was for a video game that's going to be coming out soon. It's like I'm not going to say what it was, because no, I will not be saying which game it was. It's not any of the games that you're thinking, though. It's a game that's not out yet. And one of the marketing people from the company was like, hey, we've got the sequel to a very popular video game coming out. And it was not Raid Shadow Legends. I told you guys. It's like a pretty, basically it's like, it's not one of these like, well, I don't know. They might be a AAA studio. I don't know about what qualifies people as AAA or not. But it was a studio that I had actually heard of. And like, the offer seemed legitimate. And it seemed cool, and I was like, oh, that's neat. And they were like, yeah, we've got the sequel to one of our very popular games coming out, and we would love for you to play it on your channel in some kind of fashion. Would you be willing to do, like, a Let's Play, or an ad insert, or something like that? Would you be willing to do that with us? And I said, oh, yeah, that sounds really cool. And I was honest. I said, okay, so I've done gaming stuff on my channel before. At Chess 2. Raid Shadow Legends 2. No, it's not Raid Shadow Legends! But yeah, and so I sent them back. It's like, okay, I've done gaming content on my channel before, but it didn't perform very well. So you probably don't want me to just do a review or a let's play, because I don't think those videos would perform very well, and that's just a waste of both of our time. And I told them, but I have had luck with, you know, like just like 60-second integrations at the start of my video. That's what the ads that you guys see on my channel, that's what has been done in the past. That's like a 60-second integration. And so I said, I've had good luck with those. So if you want me to do one of those, I can totally do that. But I don't think a let's play or just a straight up review, like a dedicated review on the channel would do very well, because that's not really the type of content that I do on this channel. And you know, I was planning on doing it. It seemed interesting. It seemed like an interesting opportunity, and then they blew it. And then they blew it because I sent them back all that information. And then they replied, thanks for getting back to us, like a week later, which, you know, fine, they're busy or whatever. But they replied to me like a week later. And they reply as if they did not read my message at all. And they were like, would you be willing to do a let's play on your channel? It is like, do you think that a let's play or a dedicated review would perform well on your channel? Let us know and we can tell you more stuff about this opportunity. I'm like, one, did you even read the response I sent back? Two, am I talking to a bot right now? Because it feels like it feels like I'm talking to a bot right now because of the fact that you just blatantly did not freaking read my response email. And so it's like, you know, they looked legitimate. Like the email was from, it was like so-and-so at gamecompany.com. It looked legitimate. That's the only reason I responded to it. And I'm like, okay, if y'all can't even read the response that I send back to you and respond in a manner that hints that, you know, you actually read the email I sent you and responded it in a timely manner, I think you're probably gonna be a pain to work with. And so I just left them on red, and I'm not gonna respond to them anymore. And I'm just like, okay, this is either a well laid out scam, in which that this is not actually like a marketing person from this company, despite having an email address that is associated with the company, or this company uses fucking ChatGPT or something to write their emails, and we can tell. It's just like, good lord. It was just legitimately though, like, I'm kind of tempted to read you guys the emails. Like, I won't say the important shit, but I'm opening my inbox. I'm kind of curious. You guys can tell me what you think. You guys tell me what you think about this. Where is it? Here it is. But like, this is a game that you guys have heard of. It's not like the most popular franchise or whatever, but like I have heard of it, which means that it's reasonably popular. Okay. So, you know, they sent me the original thing. It's like, I'm the publicity manager for company. And so they were like, hey, we want you to collaborate with us. These are a few options that we were thinking, but let us know your thoughts. And I said, hello and thanks for reaching out. I haven't played the first game, but I have heard good things about it. While I don't know if a review or let's play would be best for my channel, and then in parentheses, I mostly do art-related content, and the few times I've tried to do gaming-related content, those videos don't perform especially well. I've had success with 60-second integrations on my channel in the past. I could also potentially stream the game, and then I said, based on that, please let me know more details and we can work things out. So, you know, I gave them the info, and then they said, hi, thanks for your reply. Can you please tell me if specialized promotional videos of 5 to 10 minutes would be suitable for your channel? Yes! I can't tell you that, because I did already! The more I look at this email, the more I think it was probably a bot. So it's just like, goddamn. Goddamn. Because it was like, it was a sequel for a game where the release date has not been announced yet. And they said in the first thing, it's like, we're planning on releasing this in like later this year. Shh, don't tell anyone. And I was like, okay, they're probably just being cute. But no, now that I think about it, it's probably just like probably a scam that, and they just got an email address that looks pretty similar. Head tilt of suspicion, yeah. It's like, I don't want to blast their name in case it was actually a real offer, but like, if it was a real offer, why do you sound so weird and suspicious? Like, seriously. I want to know the game? Too bad, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. On the off chance it is a real offer, I'm not saying what it is. But I will not be working with them unless they come around and realize, oh, we misread this email, and da-da-da-da-da-da. A lot of times, if people are really interested in working with you and you leave them on red, they'll try and reach out again. So we'll see. We shall see. Is the email spelled correctly? I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know. I can post about it in the friend chat later and we can all go detective mode on it. I'm not going to respond to him again. And so I'm not at risk of like giving them my bank information or anything like that, but if you guys want to play detective later, remind me after the stream and I'll drop the emails in there. Was there urgency in the email? No, there wasn't. And honestly, like their second response came like a week and a half after I sent my first response. So you'd think if there was urgency, I mean, they did say it's like we wanted to do it like around this time of year, but you know, it wasn't like you have to do, it wasn't like this. It didn't key into me as a scam until they sent their response email that, where it just like seemed like they did not read my messages at all. That was like, huh, that's weird, okay. But yeah. I get a lot of weird, like, sponsorship emails that I just never respond to because it's very obviously fake. Like, I keep getting emails from a company that makes bottled water. Like, Evian Water wants to sponsor me, and then you look at the email address and it's a fucking Gmail account, and it's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You are not who you say you are. That's not who you are. Silly. But yeah, this one did not ping immediately, so I was just like, huh, interesting. And then they sent me that bullshit email back, and I was like, come on, guys! What the F is this? What the F is this? Good old dihydrogen monoxide, right? Oh my god, I just remembered! Apropos of absolutely nothing. Apropos of absolutely nothing, I have to tell you guys about Dave. I have to tell you guys about Dave. The best character. Okay. So, if you guys remember, hang on, I can get the picture open. If you guys remember Dave, the skull, from the last stream I did where I drew some of my characters, well, we played this game, this is from our Sunday game, and we played over the weekend. And there's now additional Dave lore. As soon as he finds out that I'm talking about this, we may have a J incursion in the chat, but... So, okay. I talked about this a little bit on Blue Sky, which is how people were freaking out and calling Dave the MVP. I don't even know where to start. Okay. So basically what happened is that our characters fucked around and found out. And in this most recent session, we were all running away from a Durgan. We were all on the run from literally like an ancient green dragon, and we had like all the citizens of this town that was under attack, and we managed to teleport away from them, and we were trying to flee to like this other large city that would have protections against the dragon. And we were thinking, is like, we were in the home stretch. It was like, we just have to like, we have like an hour left of travel and we can get to this city and we can avoid the dragon and everything will be fine. No. So the dragon spotted us, while we were still like 40 minutes away from the town, and shit was getting real bad, and he was like looming in on us. And one of our player characters had kind of a Hail Mary, in her back pocket. That's Win. And because she is like an heiress, kind of, I'm not sure what her exact title is. But basically her character's grandmother is like this very, very important, she's like an archfey, she's very important, but also, the players know this, the player characters don't really know this, but she is like probably the big bad of this entire campaign. Like, she's fucking evil. She brainwashes people to do her bidding. She's bad news. But one of our player characters, who is her granddaughter, was like, I bet I could call her in and she could help us out with this dragon situation. And so, you know, we're 40 minutes away from any kind of hope, and there is a dragon literally on our asses. And she's like, I think we're gonna have to call my grandmother. And it's just like, we don't have any other options, just do it. So she does. She calls for help from the evil grandmother. The evil grandmother deals with the dragon. And then the creepiest scene follows, where basically we find out that, like, half the party has some kind of connection to this character, whether they realize it or not, because two characters, including a little blue baby perhaps, have some kind of connection to this character where she can basically fucking brainwash them. It's kind of a Winter Soldier situation, where they like, the grandmother can say a code word and then they just go off and perform murder. And so like, it happened to one of the player characters in the very first episode, where like, they don't realize that it's happening. They don't remember it happening. All the players do, but the characters don't remember it happening. That one of our characters, our sorcerer, got their code phrase activated. They went up and they fucking killed a guy, and then they don't remember it. And Lapis also has some kind of connection, because when grandmother showed up, she just kind of went into like this weird trance. She wasn't responding when grandmother talked to her, but she just kind of went into this weird like trance, kind of, where she was just like, she was really out of it. And grandmother like called it a glitch, and she's like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you saying anything? He's like, must have been some kind of glitch or something. I don't know what happened here. And just like, we found out that one of the characters' secret, like, Winter Soldier-esque sleeper agent mission is to fucking kill an archangel. We didn't know that, and her character didn't know that. She only knows that when she's being actively hypnotized. But like, we as players found that all out. And that's the whole thing. But then, of course, she drops all that on us. And then before she leaves, she memory wipes all of us. She's like, I need to make sure that none of you remember this, because I will complicate things. And so she basically casts Modify Memory on all of us, so none of us remember this happening. We basically, from our point of views, from our characters' point of views, we were running from the dragon, and we managed to escape somehow. From our point of view, that is what happened. Like, grandmother never showed up. We don't even remember that she was there. We don't remember any of the shit she said. We don't remember any of the shit she did. None of that. We just remember running from the dragon and we managed to make it to town. But we all have like this sinking feeling that something really, really bad happened. So we end the session on that note. And as we're kind of like packing up and chit-chatting afterward, I think someone responds, hey, did modify memory work on Dave? Because she didn't know that he was there. Dave was like, because of a funny little joke we had done earlier in the session. There was earlier in the session. So Dave like lives in this bird cage on Lapis's hip, right? And in canon, there's like a little curtain over it. He has like a bird cage curtain on top of it. And so like, you know, we can keep him safe from the sun. And he was talking about how he was going, you know, he was doing his thing. He was talking about how he's going to get minions and he's going to do all of his shit. And he's like, I will have evil minions and I could take out any one of you if I wanted. And then Lapis, you know, trying to be as nice as possible, but knowing that she could very easily kill Dave if she just took one knife to the back of his head with very little holding her back from doing that. She just said, Dave, I don't say this to be mean, but I don't think you're capable of actually killing any of us. And he took it real personally and he shut his little birdcage curtains out of anger. And he was in there for the rest of the session. So then, when we have this big scary confrontation with the big bad of this campaign, or one of them anyway, I'll call her the big bad of the campaign, she didn't know Dave was there, and therefore did not cast Modify Memory on Dave. So Dave, the stupid comedy slapstick skeleton, this fucking guy right here, did not get his memory wiped and heard all of that. Oh my god, it was so funny. It was the funniest shit. And we were all losing our minds and being like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next session? What's gonna happen next session? How is this gonna... Dave! Jay said that he was gonna come in and complain about... He messaged me like last night, just randomly to complain about Dave. And he was just like, fucking Dave, I'm still mad about that shit. I'm like, you did it to yourself! You gave him to us! You gave him to us! You gave us a silly comedy slapstick skeleton vampire. And we adopted him. And now you must atone for your actions by having him be a very plot important character because we said so. Oh my god. It's so funny. It is so funny. And I told Jay that if he comes into chat to complain, I'm gonna make him get on mic and explain from his perspective what happened with Dave. Cause it's like, I can so perfectly hear in his voice. I can hear him in my mind's eye the way he would describe this, because there's like, I don't know if he's ever done it on What's Left of Us, but there's like this kind of whiny quality he gets to his voice when he's complaining about stupid shit that his players did, and we hear it a lot. Where he's like, and then the stupid comedy slapstick skeleton they asked if he got mind wiped, and of course he didn't get mind wiped. I can hear it in my head perfectly. It's just, oh my fucking god. It is I have been riding that high since Sunday afternoon, and it is Wednesday. He rolled for it too. Yeah, he rolled to see if grandmother, the evil character, would have realized that Dave was there, and he rolled low, I guess. So no, Dave did not get noticed, and he did not get his mind wiped, because he's just a little skull. He's just a little skull in a bird my character's hip, and he's just a little guy, and he is now the most important character in this fucking campaign. Jay's probably shaking his fist at the sky, cursing Dave's existence. One, he gave us Dave. He gave us Dave. He put Dave out there. He gave him to us on a fucking silver platter. And then he dares to complain about Dave. Cause like, he fucking just messaged me like the night after, just Dave. He just drops that in my DMs, and I'm just like, fucking Dave, you did this to yourself. He's going to find a way to kill Dave before he can tell you things. No, he can try. He can't kill Dave now. He knows that all of us would revolt. If Dave dies, the campaign is over. We are all revolting if anything bad happens to Dave. Reaping what he sowed. Yes, exactly. The boys are reaping, lads! It's so funny. It's so funny. It's like, 'cause okay, here's the thing. I don't know if I would ever make a video specifically about the, about this campaign, just because I've been working on the video for our Thursday game, and it's taking so much time. This video will be the death of me, probably. I am putting so much effort and love into it. It might be the type of thing where it's like, that was fun, I never want to do it again. So we might only get one video for the Thursday campaign. It's gonna depend entirely on how much you guys dig it. It's like, I'm gonna finish it, but future installments may just be scripts, but part 2, I know, I want to do like future parts, but it's gonna depend. And you know, if I do a part 2, maybe I do a part 2 that's like way lower tech. Or maybe I do a part 2 that's just like a written thing. Part 2 has more Naomi. That is true, you're right. I did promise that I would do a part 2 that focused more on some of the other characters. I did promise that. It's just taking so long. I did promise that. Oh god, I've worked myself into this hole, haven't I? I'm just nervous that I'm gonna spend so much time on this thing. It's literally taking me hundreds of hours to make, and then it's not gonna perform well. I'm nervous about it. What about an audiobook with no visuals for part 2? But the visuals are the fun part. I like the video format because I get to put like the pictures, I get to have pretty pictures, and I get to do, you know, like the emotional narration, and don't you know who I am? I do know, I'm sorry. I do, you're right. No, it's true. You're right, though. At the very least, if I do further video installments, they will be shorter. They will be shorter. Because I'm not gonna do another fucking feature-length video again. I will break up the story more and do shorter installments if I have to. They will be 20 to 40 minutes. Maybe. Goodness gracious. I do genuinely love our Thursday game a lot, though, and I'm just giving you a hard time. No, you have every right to, is the thing, because I did promise. And I do want to do it. If I had infinite time and infinite clones of myself to help me, I would absolutely do videos for all of them. At the same, like, level. We heal out of work and I'm doing it by myself. Not entirely by myself. I'm getting some friends to do, like, voice acting for me, but I'm putting most of it together myself because I have a vision. I have a vision in my mind. My mind's eye of cool videos. It will be shorter, famous last words. No, don't call me out. Don't call me out. Don't call me out, that's illegal. That's illegal! On my own YouTube channel? Illegal. How dare you? Star of the Auteur? Yeah. I know some YouTubers who have, like, teams of people that help them with their videos, and I'm just like, God, I wish I had that kind of money. God, I wish that I had that kind of money and time. Because my goodness. I would love some assistance. Don't you want to draw more of Naomi's pretty hair? I do, but I mean, like, it's gonna be just as sketchy as everything else. Maybe someday you will. Yeah. I mean, it's like, on the one hand, like, you know, getting a bigger audience is kind of scary and intimidating because, like, oh god, people perceiving me on that kind of level is kind of scary and intimidating. On the other hand, having extra YouTube funds to get help, like, editing my videos together would be very helpful because then I can focus on making more. And I could also, you know, like, get assistance for my webcomic and stuff. I could help people, I could get people to help me, like, source music for my, like, for the D&D video, which is gonna be a thing that takes me a long time. Just, like, digging around through Epidemic Sound, trying to find the perfect track for the perfect scene, and all that. Like, editing it all together and doing all the sound mixing and all that jazz. You know? You want to know the stupid part? I've recently, like within the past couple of days, discovered a better recording system for the mic that I have. And, cause like, I don't know how it sounds on stream, but I know at least my recording voice does sound a little bit nicer now because I've changed some of the mic settings. Like if you guys have watched my most recent video, the one that came out, like, it's not out publicly yet, but if you guys have early access, if you're like a membership, if you're on my members or you're on my Patreon and you have early access to my stuff, and you have seen my my favorite tropes video that I just released today, well, last night technically, but today, I used my new setup for recording, and I think that the audio sounds a lot better. And so now, there is a not small part of me that wants to re-record all the narration for the D&D video. Because it sounds better. And like, I recorded a lot of the D&D video all in one session. Jared! Jared Sadewater, thank you for the 50 gifted memberships. You already did that for the stream. You don't have to do it again. He's done it again. He's done it again. Goodness gracious. Well, thank you for the 50 gifted memberships, Jared. If you guys got a membership, make sure to say thank you. But goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, he's at it again. Great googly moogly. He's at it again. I'm just watching the memberships go. Pew, 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 pew. Look at them go. Look at them go. It's gonna take a minute. Oh, but yeah, Shilling, if you guys just got gifted a membership, you can watch my next video right now because I posted it early for channel members. There is a link if you go onto my community tab. There is a link so that channel members can watch the video early. It won't be coming out until Friday, but if you guys if you guys just got gifted a membership, you can watch it right now, and you can hear me yell about all my favorite tropes. Because the freaking pet peeves video performed like stupidly well. I don't know how that happened. And so I'm just like, what if I just did that video again, but also the opposite? And I talk about all the stuff that I do like. And so I did that. And that video is up for patrons and channel members right now. And if you just got given a membership, you can go watch it right now. It'll be available for non-members tomorrow. It will be available for non-members on Friday, like I said. I like to post a few days early for patrons and channel members. And I also like to post on Fridays because then it's like right at the start of the weekend and people can sit down and watch it when they get home from work and school and stuff. And ever since I started posting videos on Fridays, my videos have been performing better. I don't know if there is a guaranteed correlation, but I have noticed. You stepped away for a minute. No, you didn't. You dropped a bunch of memberships on us again. Which we appreciate. But still. Jared's like the cryptid of this chat. He's just shows up, drops memberships, and then moonwalks away into the woods like Bigfoot. Drop subs and dips, exactly. Jinx, this isn't Twitch. They're called channel memberships. Now who's giving who a hard time? I've kind of taken to watching these kind of vids on the next day to get that Saturday morning cartoons feeling. Yeah, that's also another thing. Oh, Hawkfurs, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. A couple more folks just got some chips. Listen, I'm listening. I'm listening. More chips. There's a VTuber who I've popped in their streams a few times, and they call memberships chips. And I just think it's really charming and cute. It's just like, oh, member chips. And then like the whole chat will say like, thanks for chips. It's very charming. It's very cute, and I like it. Because I always think of like tortilla chips. But they're member chips. It's very cute. That's a dare. No. No. Jared, you've already done enough. You've done more than enough, sir. That's plenty. That is plenty. It's not a challenge. We're good. Slow down. Slow down, sir. No, no, we're being nice, but it's just like, it's okay. We're good. You have done enough. It's not a dare. It's not a challenge. And if you start giving more, random people who aren't even subscribed are gonna start getting them, which has happened. I have gotten confused comments. I have gotten confused comments from people saying I got a membership but I'm not even subbed to this channel. And I'm like, well, did you sub now? And sometimes they did. Sly said to do it. No! No! Stop it. Jared! What did I just say? Jared! Too late. Oh my god. Jared Sadewater, thank you for the 10 more gifted memberships. The man's done it again. The thankful but exasperated sigh of Jared is at it again. Goodness gracious. Y'all are being silly. Silly in my chat? That's illegal. Is that why your face is bothering me? Is your jaw too beefed up? That might be part of it. Yeah, anyway, going back to what I was talking about, because I realized that I was not done talking about Dave and the nonsense, is like I said, I don't think I would do a video for this Sunday campaign, or at the very least, if I did do a video, it would be way lower tech than the Thursday game video, because I can't do this again. So like, it might not have voice lines, it might just be me. It might be way lower tech as far as illustrations and stuff go. It might just be written. Like, I might just write it, because I did make a page on Unveil for Lapis, which is the character who is Dave's keeper currently. And I did write a little thing about her backstory. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed writing that. That was fun. So I dropped a link in the chat if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, so if you go on Lapis's page and you go to the writing tab, I wrote a character summary for basically just like her backstory and the stuff that has happened in the campaign so far. It's very centered on her, just because she's my character and she's the one I have the most confidence in writing about. But depending on how the Sunday game goes, I may eventually like I might do some like written summaries, you know? Because those are pretty easy, I can knock those out and those are still fun to read. And I might do like dramatic readings of them on YouTube. I might put them on my second channel or something. I don't know. I think it could be fun. Sync up some music and do some real basic illustrations. The more I keep talking, the more high effort this hypothetical project becomes. I can't help it. I just like making things. I like making things and stories for people to enjoy, and I can't stop myself. I have so much fun. I have so much fun with it, I can't stop. And then I end up with like way too many freaking projects under my belt, but I get excited about them. Yeah. This is what happens every single time. This is the whole reason why the Thursday D&D video is going to exist at all. It's just because I get too excited. That's why I love your content. Your stories are great. Oh, thank you. Oh, but yeah, speaking of that, actually, if y'all just got a membership and you haven't watched them yet, I do have 2 sneaky peeks from the D&D video. Like the big one that I am working on. I have 2 scenes uploaded. They're members only on my channel, but if you have a membership now, thanks to Jared or Hawkfurs or any of the other folks who have donated memberships this stream, you can go and watch that right now. One's the prologue and one is Verity's character introduction. So. I'm probably going to start uploading more snippets once those are fully completed. Right now, the biggest thing I'm waiting on is voice lines from other people. for a lot of the earlier scenes to be completely finished. The next one I want to post is like the meet the party scene, which is the one that comes immediately after Verity's introduction, but I haven't gotten everybody's voice lines yet, so can't post that one yet. But I will eventually. Going to record mine today, but got too distracted. Oops. Oops-a-doodle. That's fine. Like I've told you guys over and over, I'm not in especially big of a hurry. But the sooner I get them, the sooner I can post more sneaky peeks. You know? Your videos inspire me so much. Cast Off is how I found you and helped me so much. I was in such a bad place, so it means a lot to me. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad that anything I make has been able to help any of you guys at all, even a little bit. I do my best, and I hope that people find some meaning in the stuff that I make. And it means a lot to know that it does. And I'm awkward, so I'm just sitting here doing thumbs up and you guys can't see it. Oh boy. But yes, thank you. It does mean a lot, so. Forgot to ask my doctor about getting tested for ADHD on Monday, so whoops. Well, you know, next time you talk to him, just be like, hey, BT dubs. I'm just making a hi, Molly. Hello, pretty gatito. Hello. Thank you for rubbing up against the mic. Pretty cat, Miss Molly, pretty cat. Molly's here to cause some trouble and rub against my mic. Hi, baby. If you hear mic movement sounds, that is from the cat. Molly, don't knock stuff off my desk, please. Please, ma'am. Hi. You're very precious. You're very cute. Hi there. Who is a pretty kitty? Who is a pretty cat? Who is a pretty kitty cat? Come here. Nope. You're gonna just walk right across my tablet again, and then just... Her favorite thing to do is to pace between me and my tablet. There's like an inch of desk space between my tablet and the edge of the table. And that's her catwalk. It's her personal catwalk that she just wants to pace across all the time. She loves it. It's her favorite thing. What kind / color is she? She is, if you have ever been on the subreddit, standard issue cat, you have seen a picture of what Molly looks like. She is very much the brown tabby, short hair, just sweet little precious baby cat. She is standard issue cat. How old is she? She's 4. I think. Molly, are you 4 or 5? Did I get her in 2020 or 2021? I can't remember. Because I remember I got her during the pandemic, and she was already a year old at that point. Because I had a geriatric... No, it was 2021. So she was born in 2020. So she's 4. Because I remember I didn't have her for a full year before my dog passed away, and she passed away in 21. So. But yeah, she's baby. She's my cinnamon toast cat. I have two kitties. So I've got Molly, who is my little angel. And then I have Milo, who is also a little angel, but she screams at me constantly. Screams at me. Just a little nightmare creature. Like this morning, I woke up earlier than my alarm usually would wake me up. And, you know, I checked my phone at like 6:30. So I usually roll out of bed sometime between 8 and 9 in the morning. But today my stupid skin suit woke me up at fucking like 6 in the morning for no reason. Probably just because I went to bed early last night. And I rolled over and checked my phone for like 30 seconds. And Milo took that as oh, the human is awake now. Which means it is time for us to be fed. And like their morning food alarm hadn't even gone off yet. They have an automated dispenser for their dry food. And it hadn't even gone off yet. That goes off at 7 a.m. But they still were like, oh, the human is awake. We must scream at the human until she rises to feed us. Meow! 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 Yeah, that's what you sound like. That's what you sound like. Molly is better about it. Molly's version of waking me up early is she'll just like lay down to sleep next to me. Molly's not much of a cuddler, but she likes to sleep touching me. She'll like put her back to my back and just fall asleep like that. It's very cute. Milo will scream like her life depends on it. Younger and older sibling energy, right? But yeah, and so they were very rowdy from a very early hour this morning. I did not appreciate it very much. They're not usually that rowdy that early. But they had plans that included getting fed like 3 hours early. Didn't you? Yeah, you're just sitting looking away from me. You know I'm talking about you and you're just like, no, I'm innocent. I'm so innocent, I'm not even paying attention to what's going on. I'm not listening to what you're saying, but I know it's untrue falsehoods. I just got a couple of weird little fuzzy roommates. Weird little fuzzy roommates who love to scream. Just about. I'm closing in on done with this one, and when that time comes, I will probably call it a day. Because I wouldn't be able to finish a third one if I started it. And I am hungry for dinner. So... No. I'm doing this wrong. Doing this on the wrong layer. I feel like I need to go thicker on the hand line art. It's got to be punching outward more. I was kind of iffy on this pose. And I was like, screw it. This isn't for like a print or anything. It's for one piece of art in like a 20-minute video with like 9 other pieces of art in it. Just draw it and it'll be fine. Now it's just like, oh, I could have given him a cooler pose though. I could have given him a cooler pose though. Yeah, I will probably, like, you know, since this video isn't going to be out for a month, I'm probably going to, like, you know, occasionally come back and, like, tweak the art. Like, the lapis drawing, I didn't have this halftone background in there this morning or the stroke around it. I just kind of came in and, like, poked at it. I'm just going to go in and poke at them until it's time to do the final exports for the video. And then I will call it a day. Let me just go ahead and boop. And boop. And boop. And we can do kind of, you know, just like some focusing gradients type thing. Fun shit. Ah. And then I think I'm gonna give him some blushies. As one does. But yeah, let's see. Coolest thing that Lucas ever did in the comic, and I'm putting heavy air quotes on the word coolest, is that there is a chapter where the characters get involved in a bank robbery. And he helps to stop the bank robbery by running into an armed conflict, getting shot at, and stopping the bullets with telekinesis. Again, there was some weird stuff in that comic that I thought was cool, but was actually hideously impractical, now that I think back on it. Don't read the old comic. It's very, very silly. It is very, very silly. Anyway, here's Lucas. Lucas and Xavier, these two hate each other. Well, okay. Lucas hates Xavier. Xavier's indifferent. He doesn't care. But yeah, I think that is where we are going to call it for tonight because I want to go consume food. I want to go eat dinner. Before we leave, though, hey, the Makeship campaign, the pre-order campaign for Makeship, for Vector's plushie, like over there on the side of the video, that ends in like 12 hours. So if you want to pre-order a little squishy boy, there is a link for that in the description below the video. I'm pretty sure it's like the very first thing in the description. If you want to get one of these sweet plushy soft boys for yourself, and you have $2 now and you will have $30 more in December, go get it. Go get that boy. Go get that boy. And then also, if you haven't seen, linked at the top of the chat, there is a audience participation poll for a future video. You could help decide what kind of characters I design in a future challenge. So go make sure to check that out. That is linked at the top of the chat. But yeah, I'm Eepy and hungry, so I'm gonna go eat dinner. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the stream. We will be doing another one of these on Friday, where I will draw 2 more characters, probably. I'm just gonna be streaming pretty frequently just while I work on the art for this upcoming video, because I have 7 more character portraits to do for part 1. And if I knock out 2 per stream, I can get that done by the end of the month, and then my next video will come together really easily, and I'm excited about that. But I will see you guys next time, next stream on Friday. See you guys later. Goodbye!